Good afternoon and welcome to the Sports Center of Connecticut for our first of two weekend games featuring your post-university men's ice hockey team taking on the St. Anselm Hawks. The Eagles coming off of a big 3-2 overtime victory against Westfield State on Tuesday evening here at the Sports Center of Connecticut and getting ready for two back in conference play. Starting off with the Hawks, just got down here. Mike Vecchi joining you alongside Pete Whitney for this one. After women's ice hockey upstairs got their first win in program history at home against Stonehill College. 1-0 first shutout win in program history as well against the Skyhawks for the Eagles up there. And we're ready for another round of hockey action here. The starting lineups for today's game on the post side: Aiden Kennedy, Parker Norling, Baxter Kimball, Trey DeLore, Joe Santoro, and net making his third straight start. On the other side for St. Anselm, it's Michael Martinetti, Luke Mix, Max Barum, Patrick DeMarinis, Hunter Brackett, and in goal, the junior Tucker Hansen. As it will be Santoro taking the faceoffs, taking most of them the way here, and we are underway here from the Sports Center Connecticut on the lower level in today's game. Round with it into the corner, trying to lay a check down on him is Kimball. Now coming back out with it is Brackett. Brackett firing on Kunin wide of the net. Picking it up in the corner over there is Barum. Barum back over and wheels it over to Brackett, kicks it around. Out to the point over to Martinetti, who kicks it back in deep. A little bit of a scrum for it in the corner. And now back to the middle with it is Barum. Barum going to go get it on the right side of the ice. He's checked over there by Kennedy. A little bit of back and forth there, waiting for somebody to come out with it. And it will, in fact, still be St. Anselm as Brackett's going to fire wide of the net. And the Eagles' last game in that third period against Westfield State, the goaltender Ben Kunin had to make, I believe it was 17 saves to keep the Eagles alive in that one. There's his first save of the day with 19:03 remaining here in the first. Face-off circle for the Eagles and Hawks, it's Chase Reynolds and Connor Murray, who just got kicked out of the face-off circle for Scotty Swain. One by the Hawks, who punch it back in deep. That one was thrown towards the net by Blaney, and it was redirected away by an Eagle defender in front. Into the corner with it now is Bice. Once again, they're in the corner going after it, and the Hawks will come out with it yet again. Firing from the point, that was number 23, Will Vanderveen. And the Hawks offense humming along early here, Coach, and it seems like the Eagles not able to get out of their own zone.
Yeah, right now they're running a 2-1-2 forecheck, St. Anselm's is, so Post has got to maybe look to reverse the puck to find that open man on this side here because they'll overload one side on the 2-on-2.
Back into the face-off circle with it is Murray. Coming out with it, though, again is St. Anselm's as they punch it in deep, and into the corner with it is John Myers. Myers back around into the corner once more as the Eagles try and fight for possession, as that's Leinart with it. Leinart back out towards the blue line and then gets back down low to Reynolds, who fires it towards the net wide. A nice check in the corner there against Murray. Still maintaining puck possession in the zone are the Hawks. The Eagles have not been able to get it out for the first 2 minutes of this game so far. Back out to the blue line, and it'll finally go out of the offensive zone, but it's still St. A's controlling the puck. As coming back down with it is Alberti. Now firing towards Kunin is Cam Collins, and that one's saved by Kunin. We got a little bit of pushing and shoving as Jacob Howell goes to the ice.
Yeah, it's early in the game, Mike, but Post is going to have to swing to the neutral zone to take away those open skating lanes to slow down St. Anselm's. They're a quick team. They like to play with pace and tempo, as does Post.
And we kind of saw it in the last game. The first two periods of that game against Westfield State, the Eagles really did control the tempo on offense. And then that third period, something clicked for Westfield State, and they had the upper hand for most of it until that overtime frame where the Eagles were able to kind of settle things down in the 3-on-3 session before Joe Santoro broke loose for a second goal of the game, which would end up being the game winner to get the Eagles their first win of the season. Now on the offensive side with it are the Eagles, but quickly coming out with it is St. Anselm flying in there as Cam Collins into the corner, being checked over there in the corner by O'Connell. Now back out to the point, fired by Alberti, and that one stopped in front, and now back with it is Tanner Glassrud. Glassrud looks to work it out to Howell. Howell now out to the neutral zone, and that one is kind of just kicked away by Hansen with the stick. Now into the offensive corner of it is Post. Battling for it. It looks like that was number 3, Holden Beckett. Not quite able to get a handle on it, and now Hunter Rossi with it behind the net. Hoffman now and the Hawks are going to lose possession of it here as it's back into the defensive side of the ice for Post, and that's almost nearly a turnover by Delory, as this St. Anselm offense is just staying deep in the Post zone even when they don't have the puck. As behind the net with it on the other side of the ice is Mix. Mix now coming across and is taken away over there by number 16, Connor McCowell. McCowell firing, save, Hansen. We'll have our first offensive zone face-off for the Eagles.
Yeah, Post has done a good job weathering that storm that first 2-3 minutes, so now they're starting to get their legs under them. It looks like they're starting to connect on some passes and get some zone time in the offensive end.
Joe Santoro in the offensive circle. Going up against Hunter Brackett, and it's won by St. A's. Behind the net with it are the Hawks, and now with it over there is Mix. Mix back into the corner, and it's nearly taken away over there by Kennedy. And now firing it towards the net is Kimball. Now back again with it is St. A's behind the net. That was Martinetti. Bringing it out now is Barum. Barum over, nice stop there by Brackett. Gets it deep in the zone, and we're probably going to missed something down low. Thought there was something up top over here with the hit on Delory.
Yeah, there could have been, but they're letting him play a little bit and let him sort it out, I think.
Yeah, got used to seeing the boarding calls earlier in the day with that one, the game earlier up top. So I was waiting a call on that, even though that's not called nearly as frequently in the men's game. Firing towards the net was Blaney, and getting it out of there is Kunin, and now back into that right corner where it's been for most of this period so far. It goes, and now it goes out, and we're going to get a stoppage here. Not sure what for. I think the net came off. Yep, net came off, so we're going to get that back on here.
Yeah, one of the keys for sure for Post, Mike, is going to be, because St. Anselm's is so skilled, take away that time and space.
Deep in the zone with it are the Eagles. We apologize for the technical difficulties with the scoreboard. We still had the Stonehill post game from game 1 up there, and we're working to get it fixed as soon as possible. There are 15 and a half minutes remaining here in the first period. Behind in the zone with it is St. A's. Kicking it out there is Brackett across center ice. Moving quickly with it was Leinart, and then towards the goal and scoring, I believe that was Hunter Brackett. And St. A's is on the board with Brackett's goal. 1-0 with 15:04 to go.
Yeah, you could see on their breakout, they did a great job, actually. They reversed the puck. St. Anselm's made a couple of good connect and a couple of crisp passes, attack with speed, was able to push the post defenders back, and he had plenty of room, opportunity to shoot that puck.
That's Brackett's team-leading third goal in the year. He's also got 3 assists, so give him 6 points now on the year, as early on the Hawks have controlled every facet of the game, and now lead 1-0 behind that goal from Brackett, his third of the season. We'll get assists and stuff for you at the intermission. So 1-0 St. A's here with about 14 and a half to go. Now quickly back into the zone with it are the Hawks again. That was Myers who just fired. We got a little bit of a scrum in the corner. Now with it come the Eagles in Atkinson. St. A's gets it right back, throwing it back into the defensive side of post zone. Glasser's going to get that one out, and it goes over to Atkinson. Atkinson now across center ice, dumps it in deep. Hansen stops it behind the net, and over to grab that one is Mix. Mix now behind the goal is going to kick it out forward. Now we're playing some neutral zone here. Grace, if you go to the control panel over here, you have to change it there. Apply. We're working to fix the scoreboard and everything all at once here to get that back on the screen for you. As the Eagles on the offensive side of the ice, but still Hawks in control of this one. And now out into center of it was Connor Kelly. Loses it. It looks like it was taken away over there by Parker Norling, and now back in the neutral zone with it. But right back with it is Kelly. Kelly coming on fast. Excuse me, nope, that was Cam Collins, number 10. Numbers kind of blended together over there. Now back the other way, and it looks like it'll go for an icing. It will. And back to the offensive zone, the Hawks will go for a face-off.
Yeah, I think Post just has to condense some things on their breakout. Instead of stretching a guy, let's have some guys in a little better support position because St. A's is coming so hard. Just try to chip and pass around them.
Yeah, the speed of the Hawks is kind of just keeping the Eagles on their heels this entire time, and lost the puck there for a second. Everybody did, as Kennedy's going to come out with it, get it out into the neutral zone and back to the defensive line with Blaney. It goes. Over there with it now is Vanderveen, and he pushes it ahead into the neutral zone to Collins. Collins pushing it in, knocks down the ref on his way to it, and still gets knocked down again, Collins does. Now coming back around with it is Kelly, looks to fire on, and that one goes wide. Kicking it out of the zone is Holden Beckett, and the other way, here come the Eagles. That's Max Bolak, the freshman. Pushes it in deep and wide of the goal in Hansen. Back out with it is St. A's, and getting knocked down over there, Steve Armstrong. 12 and a half minutes to go, just in case 1-0 on the scoreboard for St. A's if you're just joining us here. Nice check in the corner over there by Bolak, and now it's back out to center ice with it is number 8, Owen Atkinson, the freshman from Haverhill, Massachusetts. But right back with it come the Hawks. It seems like every time Post gets the puck, it goes right back to St. A's, and what a nice save there by Cooney against Armstrong. Armstrong looked like he had all day on that one, but somehow Cooney able to just get a piece of it and get it out of harm's way as it remains 1-0 now with 12 minutes to go. Trying to push the puck out is Hugh McGuigan, and he does so, but then quickly right back into the defensive zone for the Eagles as Howell pushes it behind the net. Eagles looking to try and get something going here, and offensively they've only had one shot that's reached Hansen in net inside of the crease. Now maybe we get another one here. No, as Howell's pushed off of the puck, and it goes back out to the top of the key to O'Connell. Now to the left side, he scores. It looks like that was Hugh McGuigan with the goal. Wait and see. Yeah, that was McGuigan with the goal on the left side by Hansen, and just like that, the answer for Post. They tie it up at 1-1 here with 11:36 remaining in the first period.
Yeah, that was good patience by Howell to hold on to that puck, move it up top, get in between the dots, get pucks to the net, crash the net, and look for that rebound. That's how Post is going to score goals. That's how they have scored so many goals so far this season.
Yeah, it seems like when they get into that crease area, they're a much more aggressive team as opposed to taking shots out at the point. It seems those second chance looks are what they're able to capitalize on the most with their size, getting able to push people out of the zone. However, the Hawks just coming right back and firing on Cooney, and that was DeMarini's there. Now it goes back out to the point, pushing it back in deep are the Hawks. That was Vanderveen into the corner, and firing it towards the net was Brackett. And now the Eagles will repossess the puck with Murray out towards the center, but pushing it back in are the Hawks, who will go out for a change, as that was Vanderveen who pushed it in deep. With pressure all over him is Brackett, the goal scorer earlier in this period. Hugh McGuigan just scored a goal for the Eagles to tie it back up at 1. Brackett had the first goal just about 3 or 4 minutes into this affair. We've got a lot of action early on in this one if you're just joining us, and it looks like it's not going to slow down anytime soon with the way these two teams are playing aggressively. Again, Post at 1-3, lost 4-2 to St. Michael's at home. That game was played in Hamden last weekend, and 3-2 in overtime. A pair of games where they did lead early on, but then were unable to capitalize on their chances to win them. This one now coming from behind, down 1-0 to tie at 1-1. The Eagles have led in 3 of their first 4 games initially up until this game and the Fitchburg State game. Pushing it out of the zone are the Hawks, and racing down to get it is Kennedy in the defensive side. Kennedy's going to push it ahead to Norling, and that one's kind of just pushed away to Santoro, who had 2 goals the other night. Santoro back over to Norling in space. Blocked in front there, it looks like by Martinetti, and we're going to get a face-off in the offensive zone.
Yeah, that's the kind of offensive post I think we'll need to use to be effective against St. Anselm's. Move that puck again, like I said, between the dots, get in that house area, get pucks in the net, and go hard to the net and force St. Anselm to pick them up.
Winning it is the Eagles. Norling tries to push it in, and he can't. Back over to the Hawks with it is Mix. Mix moving up the ice with the puck, trying to get something going as the Hawks setting up their forwards up front. Pushing it now into the zone was Mix again. And now the Eagles dump it out to center ice as Santoro trying to get on it, can't do so. It'll be Reynolds winning the race to the puck, and now over to the right side it goes to Laurie, mobbing all over a couple of Hawks there. And it just goes right back over to Post on the defensive end. Knocking it down in the neutral zone was Martinetti. And pushing it in deep. Martinetti with wheels going towards the corner. But Santoro right there to try and get something, to Laurie over there in the corner. Santoro was back a little while ago, trying to keep the Hawks offense from getting to the puck. Now pushing it back out with it is Bice. Moving that ahead to Bolak, and now he's going to just dump it in deep. And it's picked up there by the Hawks and Vanderveen again. Keeping it in for the Eagles was number 4, Wyatt Noble. First time we're calling his name out today. And the Eagles now trying to push it in. A nice slap down there, it looks like, by Vanderveen to get the puck out of the offensive zone that the Eagles were in. Now we're back onto the other side with Post behind the net is Noble with it. As the Eagles look to prepare something for a rush up. Trying to get a stick on that one was Collins, and now pushing it back onto the offensive side. Hansen's going to stop it, racing in to try and get it is McGuigan, who just had that goal a little while ago. But St. Anselm breaking out again with it, as that's Collins firing it in deep and now going to chase the puck. But kicking it out of there is Alberti. Now Alberti will possess it in the back. It's kicked away by Howell a little bit, but then a shot over there by Hoffman is redirected. Hawks still maintaining possession here. Coming in quick with it is Alberti, and then he's going to be taken down by Howell. The 2 go into that right side corner. Now Kelly tries to push it out, can't do so. Eagles trying to go the other way with it, can't get it back as Hoyt knocks it in deep. Now dumping it off from Bice. Over into the corner with it is O'Connell, pushing the pace up and right back to the Hawks, who are winning the battle of speed right now in the early going. Armstrong now pushes it in front. Nice save there by Kunin. Into the corner fighting for it is Howell for the Eagles against Cordero. Save in front by Kunin on the loose puck, and we'll get a face-off here with 7:19 to go. 1-1, St. Anselm in Post.
Yeah, early on Post did a good job, like I said, weathering the storm, going down 1-0, getting one back. Here again, we start to see him get a little scrambly as St. A's begins to move the puck east-west. So you need to be able to pick up your men when it gets hectic like that, for sure.
Shot quickly there on goal by number 21, Chris Cordero, who's played 2 games so far this year, 6 in his career. No stats for him yet on the season, but still the Eagles trying to get it out of there and almost fighting with each other's sticks there are Santoro and Delori. And pushing it out to try and grab it is number 19, Baxter Kimball in the corner. Kimball's going to kind of run with it down the right side of the ice. Can't get by the one player in front of him in Martinetti, who possesses the puck behind the net. And Baxter still going after it. Kimball trying to keep with it, and now back the other way come the Hawks, as that one's just kind of fired on net by Cordero to get a change. Eagles now with the puck on their own end of the ice, as that was Kennedy pushing it ahead. And around Kimball it goes as DeMarinis is able to get to it. Back on the defensive end with it is Blaney. Pushing it in, and that's going to be, looks like icing, as Kennedy touches up on it, and we'll have an offensive zone faceoff for Post.
Yeah, that was a little bit ill-conceived there. I mean, you're going to have that puck flat on the ice to give your teammate a chance to get a stick on that. That thing was up in the air a little bit too much. Sort of had to do that, though, to get by the defender, so important face-off here. One
by McCowell, pushed out to the point and firing it towards the net. That was Beckett. Now back with it are the Eagles, still in the offensive zone. Connor McCall again with it, a shot from the side, again by Beckett. Turned away by Hansen. It looks like it was blocked in front, and now racing out with it is the big Vanderveen, who stands at 6'6". The second tallest player on the ice, only behind Tanner Glasser, listed at 6'7". As the Hawks maintain possession of the puck in the offensive zone. Cooney with a nice save in front. I couldn't see who got a stick on it. It looks like that was DeMarinis, who kind of got something on it, and Cooney there on the right side makes the save, and it looks like that one bounced out of play. So we'll get a face-off here on the near side of us, just outside of the post zone. Nope, it's actually going to be called inside of the post zone, so it'll be another offensive draw here for the Hawks with 5:36 remaining.
Yeah, and Ben doing a good job of tracking that puck, because St. A's players very skilled, really quick hands.
Face-off win there by Post. It's Glassrud with it behind the net, trying to push it ahead to Aloy. Back with it comes St. Anselm. Racing back into the zone with it is Reynolds, fighting for it with Swain, as well as Murray. And up into the middle of it, the Pack still trying to get something going here. Back with it is the Hawks, and that's Myers in the middle. Cooney, nice save to get that out of harm's way. Now dumping it out of the zone is Murray, and Murray's going to have a slap shot attempt here. Hansen with the save. Keep it 1-1 here with about 4 minutes to go, 4.5 minutes to go. And just firing it in deep is Delory, just to kind of get something going on a line change there for the Eagles. As the Hawks looking to break out again in transition. That's Martinetti, and it looks like it goes out of play. So we'll get a face-off right at the center dot with 4:43 remaining. 1-1 here. Hugh McGuigan with a goal for the Eagles, and Hunter Brackett with one to start things off in this one, which has mostly been controlled, if you're just joining us here, by St. Anselm in terms of the speed and dictating the pace of play on the offensive side of the ice. Eagles with a few opportunities on their end of the offensive zone, but not too much going for them early on as they look to try and keep pace. You don't want to fall behind too early, not only in the game, but in the NE10 standings when it comes to conference play, as they're starting 0-2 on the year. Meanwhile, St. A's on the other end of it, 2-0, 3-1-1 overall. Neutral zone with it over there, trying to grab it is McGuigan, like we just mentioned, who scored that goal. He's dispossessed from the puck. It still remains on the offensive side of the ice for Post, but breaking out with it now is Mix. Mix into the mix there, trying to get something to Cooney, and can't do so as he was trying to feed a pass over to Alberti. Back out with it is Mix again. Mix firing towards the Pack in the middle. Nothing doing there as it's cleared away by the Eagle defense. Won't have enough for icing, though. It looks like, no icing there. Back with it is the Hawks as the Eagles able to get a change. Coming the other way now with it is St. Anselm. Pushing that puck in deeper is Collins. But the Eagles grab it right back there with number 29, Joe Santoro. Over in the corner, Norling fighting for the puck with fellow number 13, Hunter Rossi. Norling winning that battle to get it out and over to Bice. Bice now trying to break out in transition. Bice just firing it in deep, trying to see if they can get it to the offense as Santoro now grabs it. And now Noble. Noble keeping it in and then just trying to keep it pushed in is Kimball. He does, but the Hawks are able to get it back, and Cordiero is now coming out with it across the blue line. Cordiero with space. Tries to push it into the middle over to Rossi, unable to do so. It went off his stick and away to Post. Blaney with it behind the net, fires, and that one's outside of the zone. And over there, pick it up is Beckett. Beckett trying to get it over to the defense in the back to try and get it out of harm's way, as the Hawks just continuing to maintain presence in the offensive zone, even when they don't have the puck. Still staying back to try and get something going, applying a lot of pressure to this Post defense. Dumping it out of the zone was Noble to get a change for the Eagles. Now quickly coming back in with it is Vanderveen. Fires it just wide and around. Firing it over back into the middle is Brackett behind the goal to try and get it as McCowell. Bumping heads over there with Armstrong. A little bit of neutral zone play here as we come out with it, and that is McCowell pushing it ahead, and now in the neutral zone, McCowell is just going to knock it behind the goal where Hansen is. Picking that one up over there is Hoffman, pushing it over and ahead to number 12, Max Burrum. Eagles trying to clear it back into their zone to see if they can get numbers on the other end. Unable to get to that point as the Hawks get it back into the neutral zone as they're trying to maintain possession on both sides. Bolak then able to push it in deep, and we're going to have a little bit of a change here. Scotty Swain comes out onto the ice, and Hawks back in their own end on defense trying to get something working. Glasser just pushes it into the zone, and that's going to be offsides. I guess they're saying it went outside of the blue line, and then Glasser pushed it back in. Swain touched up on it, so we'll go to the other end of the ice.
Yeah, they're calling that one intentional.
1:42 to go. 1-1. Fresh line change here for the Eagles, who, despite being outshot and outplayed in this first period, got to be feeling pretty good if you can get into the break at 1-1 or even take the 2-1 lead here as Mateo Pekka, who's seen some action this season, trying to get something in deep, and it's pushed back out by the Hawks. Over there to grab it is Kennedy. And then getting it between his skates over there is Jacob Howell. Howell's going to fire on Hanson. He scores! Jacob Howell all alone into the corner. I just talked about taking a 2-1 lead, and Howell does it with 1:18 to go with a nice race down the right side. Beats Hanson. It looked like to his left. And the Eagles go ahead 2-1.
I don't think you want to be the goalie or the defender. I wouldn't want to be with that truck coming down at me 100 miles an hour. He's got a great release, sees the net, doesn't see the goalie. You can tell by the way he shoots. He sees the net over the pad, right into the back of the net. That was just a quality shot.
Yeah, that's Jacob Howell's third of the season, which, if I'm not mistaken, is his new career high for a single season. So Jacob Howell racing all alone down there gives the Eagles a 2-1 lead. And again, I mentioned that this is a team that's been, it seems like, outplayed through these first 20 minutes. But those limited opportunities that they've gotten, they have really made the most of. And now they hopefully can take this lead into the halftime break, into the period break, intermission, with a 2-1 lead. Still kind of in football mode from earlier this year. Breaking out with it is Parker Norling. Can they get another? As coming into the zone with it is Kimbo. Kimbo fires and wow, look at that. Baxter Kimbo and Parker Norling team up for the score. And the Eagles, just like that, are leading 3-0. It looks like that was Parker Norling with the goal from Baxter Kimbo with a little back and forth there. Eagles 3-1 with 36.4 to go.
Yeah, again, that's an opportunity where they're attacking with speed, really strung a couple passes together nicely. Again, same thing, quick release, good touch on the puck, nice goal.
Talk about a change in momentum. Down 1-0, the Eagles have 3 unanswered goals right now from Hugh McGuigan, Jacob Howell, and Parker Norling. But the most impressive part about it is those 2 goals just came in about the span of a minute or less. But right back with it is St. Anselm trying to get something before the break as Alberti fires wide. And now goes back to the puck into the corner. Delory knocks him down as the Eagles will take this one down. 10 seconds to go. Looking for maybe something more as Swain had a chance there in the middle to get by the defense. Unable to do so. And at the end of one period, the Eagles, a little bit of a shocker here as we'll pull up the stats for you momentarily. Leading 3-1 after trailing 1-0 early on in this one. Pulling up the stats right now. So in that period, and like I mentioned, wow, you look at the shot margin, Coach, right now, 35-13 overall in favor of St. A's, 17-7 in shots on goal. So when you talk about Post making the most of their opportunities, nearly 50% of their shots on goal went in.
Yeah, and you know, what's interesting to me are 2 things. First off, and as we've seen so far this season, Ben Canine just keeping his team in it, making save after save. And the other thing was, initially they were running a 2-1-2, St. Anselm's was, which was very effective. Then they switched to a 1-2-2, and that gave that a little bit more time, a little bit of space. So while there was still quite a bit of pressure, Post was able to pass their way, some instances skate their way out of the zone and get some opportunities.
Yeah, and more impressive to me as I look at the numbers, faceoffs won for St. Anselm. It's in favor 10-8, but that's not a big discrepancy there. 11 blocked shots. So out of those 35 shots, 11 were blocked, 17 were on goal. So you do the math on that. That's 28 shots that were either blocked by the defense or Kunin in net.
Yeah, I mean that's a team playing at home with the idea that this is our house. If you're going to beat us, it's not going to be easy. And the 3 goals like that in the first period is you just got to stay on that, right? Because obviously there'll be some adjustments made, and with a young team, again, you always say you can't get too high, don't get too low, stay even keel. Let's just go back, maybe work on a couple of things we could do better on the breakouts to relieve some of that pressure so our goalie doesn't have to handle that many pucks, and just keep it going from there. Because after that, when they get their opportunities, they've been doing a very good job getting some grade A opportunities and finishing on them.
Yeah, I believe it was a similar situation to last year, too, between these two teams, where the Eagles took an early lead by 1 or 2 goals against St. A's, and then it kind of all fell apart, if I remember correctly, in that third period between the two teams. I'm trying to take a look right now. It was a 5-3 finish they lost, but the Eagles did lead 3-2 going into that third. It was kind of similar, 2-1 after 1. We got a 3-1 lead now, but they got to kind of keep the foot on the gas, it seems like, if they want to keep up with the St. A's team based on the previous experiences between these two teams.
Yeah, and St. A's is very, very skilled, so you have to be careful. They're not afraid to hold the puck and make a move, so you have to kind of close your gaps, take away that time and space, get some help so we're not cheating and staying on the offensive side of the puck when we should be on the defensive side of the puck. But those are all the things that make the sport exciting and fun to watch, and just have to wait and see who brings what.
Post University leading 3-1 behind back-to-back-to-back unanswered goals for the Eagles down the stretch. Mike Vesey, Pete Whitney joining you here as we'll take a quick break for the intermission. 3-1 Post here on the CACC Network. Kicking off our Women's Basketball 2024-25 Media Day with seniors Raquel Washington and Jaden Burns. Guys, you're the oldest players on the team now, believe it or not, and you're both in your fourth year. You guys came off the bench last year. Talk about that role a little bit and then how valuable your experience is to a team of 13 newcomers.
I mean, coming off the bench last year, there's a lot of expectations that you get just being off the bench as a player in practice. But that's just as someone who goes hard in practice, who comes with a lot of energy. With having those expectations and coming into the new year with 13 new players, like, it's really that time to step up, prove who you are, prove your ability, prove that we're the oldest on the team now. I mean, I've been the youngest on the team for 3 years in a row. So now kind of being at that age and at that level where it's time to really be a role model for others is really important for me.
I can say I agree with Jaden. Definitely everything, bringing energy, building off like what she said about filling the role model spot. Like, I've been here for a very long time and I've watched the program grow. So I really have that opportunity to fill big shoes while setting the benchmark for 13 new players.
4 straight North Division titles. You guys have been here, I think, for 3 of them now. How does this team do it again this year, and what do you attribute that success to over the last 3 years to get those while you guys have been here to see it?
I say by just being one as on the court and off the court, because that's something that we need. Chemistry is something big, energy, and like having a level head. Like, each time we went to get that conference championship, like, we had a level head about it, but we can't lose our footing just to, okay, we have 4. Let's go get another one.
Yeah, I mean, I think people will think this year is like a rebuilding year. But granted, we have 13 new players, but I think this is the time to prove everyone that, granted, we are a very young team now, but this is the time to really push, prove to other people that it doesn't matter our age, doesn't matter how many new players we may have, how many transfers we have, to reach, like I said, those expectations that we have of previous years of winning and kind of having that same standard now.
And even with the 13 newcomers, you guys have 7 Division I transfers coming in too.
Yeah.
What's it been like getting these new players on the team? How have they kind of meshed together? I know when we're recording this, it's only September, but in the early days, how has it been working with all these players?
Yeah, I mean, very early days. We just had our first team practice a little while ago, and you can feel the energy. You can feel, like, the energy when it comes to just learning new things, kind of adapting to new things. And like I said, as returners, we have those expectations of being like, this is what it is, let's get everybody on board. Chemistry seems to be very well. We're a team full of energy, so I think we're all just really excited of meshing well and continuing that process throughout the year.
Yeah, and then finally, what do you guys think this team can do this year? Obviously, you've had a lot of success in the past, but we're still chasing that elusive first CACC championship. Yeah. What do you guys think this team can do this year?
I think this team is going to go far. Like, we have goals of going possibly to the Elite 8. We all know what we want to do. We all know what we want to win. We all know we want to end the season with a ring. So we know the expectations. We know the goals. We know the standard. Coach is very well at taking it one game at a time, but we know what it is and what it takes to win. But I think we're going to go far. That's me.
I agree. Like, I have so much faith in this team. Like, even the team is excited. Like, that's all we talk about every time we're in the locker room. And even on the court or in the lunchroom, like, we're very excited to get farther than what this team has been already. So
we're here with newcomers to the team, Jackie Russell and Emma Carmen. First, Jackie, state champion here in Connecticut, 1,000-point scorer. How do you hope to get that success from high school and translate it to the college level?
I definitely think that where my game's going to translate the most is on the defensive end of the floor. And then, honestly, a lot of it just comes from contributing energy and just overall getting the team to build that chemistry together. Alongside, then, obviously, I got recruited for shooting. So I'm hoping to have a great shooting year this year.
Then, Emma, you came from Quinnipiac. You're a sophomore on this team. You also, in high school, had 4 Shoreby North Division championships. But coming from Quinnipiac, what do you hope to contribute to this team?
Really for me, it's just being that gritty player, working hard, getting rebounds, and hopefully getting some threes in this year. I'm also very versatile, so I like to step out depending on who's guarding me.
And then, Jackie, what's it been like in your first few weeks here at Post, your first time in college? I know, Emma, you were at Quinnipiac last year, obviously, but what's it been like coming to Post for the first few weeks?
I've honestly really enjoyed it because I've come from a small town myself, so it kind of has the same feel here, and everything, as they say, Post makes it personal. You really get to know everybody and make a ton of friends, and the girls on the team this year have just been amazing and already are becoming my best friends. And Yeah, Post has done a great job welcoming everyone and making sure you have everything you need. And, yeah, I've really enjoyed it.
And then, Emma, obviously you've been welcomed from the team from Quinnipiac. You're one of 13 newcomers, 7 Division I transfers. How has this team kind of welcomes you to the squad?
I mean, it's really just been about bonding. We got along right away. I would say we're all best friends. And for me, it was a really easy changeover because they made it so great and they're so welcoming.
And for both of you, what do you think this team can do this year? 4 straight North Division championships, if you didn't know that, but they haven't won a CACC championship yet or made an NCAA tournament. A lot of nationally ranked talent in this conference, but what can this team do this year, do you think?
I definitely think we're going to go very far, and obviously the end of the year goal is to get a ring, but even making it through to the Elite Eight, and yeah, maybe we can make some history at this school, hopefully.
Yeah, I mean, we had our first practice the other day, and we just looked great together. I mean, the energy was great, and I'm excited to see what we can do.
We're here with Naj White, returning for her second year with the Post program. Naj, you're one of the newcomers last year transitioning from Division III Mitchell. You were also at Southern Connecticut for a little while, but what was the transition like coming back from Mitchell up to Post?
It was kind of easy on my end. Basketball is like first nature for me, first love. So it's like kind of just getting back into like the groove of things and the going from Division III, which is kind of serious, but not as serious as Division II. So coming here was a little bit more like urgent to, you know, pick everything back up and get back to speed with the competition.
Talk a little bit about what your role was coming on to Courtney Burns' squad last year in her first year, which you were coached by her down at Mitchell. What your role was last year, what your role is going to be, do you feel like this year being one of the only 3 returners on this team?
My role coming here was pretty much to just try to get everybody else on board with coaches like game plan and style of play, the lock left defense and stuff like that. So just getting everybody on board and then also being a leader on the court.
And then lastly, what do you think this team can do this year? Obviously, like I said, only 3 returners, 13 newcomers, but what do you think this team is capable of?
I think we can go really far. I personally want to win a national championship. I know the rest of the girls want to as well. So it's kind of just being dogs together and just figuring it out. But the goal is a national championship and to win conference. So that's where we are now.
We're here wrapping up our Women's Basketball Media Day for the 2024-25 season, joined by second-year head coach Courtney Burns. Courtney, what was it like in year 1 transitioning from Division III Mitchell up to Division II Post here?
I was really excited for the opportunity. Of course, Post Women's Basketball's had a lot of success prior. I think Coach Plefka did a great job. I think one of the big things for me coming in was being able to really instill all our culture, but also respect the culture before from the success that they had. I was very fortunate to have some returners that really just bought into our culture and the changes that we're looking to do while keep the success that they've had here, and it made my transition a lot easier, and it ended up being a great year for us. And so, for that first year for me coming in.
All right, back here with the second period at the Sports Center of Connecticut. Mike Vesey joined alongside head coach, former coach Pete Whitney, as the Eagles lead 3-1 over St. A's behind 2 quick goals towards the end of the first, and a game-tying goal by Hugh McGuigan. So as we set things here for the second, Eagles up by 2. Coach, what do the Eagles have to do to continue their strong start?
Yeah, I think they did a good job weathering that storm, like we had mentioned when we were talking. And what they'll need to do is, if St. A's comes back with the 2-1-2, like I say, reverse the puck. But when they do have the puck on their stick, I'd like to see some close support. I'd also like to see them be in a situation where they're not just dumping the puck to dump the puck. Quality dump in is so important, because if you notice, St. A's has done a better job of picking up the dumps than Post has so far.
Yeah, they're using that speed to get out, as we just saw right there on a dump into the offensive zone for Post, that St. A's was able to come right back with it, and down with it is Barum. Barum around back and keeping it deep into the zone are the Hawks, fighting for it in the corners. Brackett, who had the goal for St. A's, now firing it across. It looks like that was DeMarini's trying to get something working there for the Hawks. And now out in transition with it is Kimball. He's not able to get anywhere with it. Now behind the goal with it is Norling, who had a goal in the first. get a whistle for a slash, it looks like, and that's going to be against Nick Theodos at 19:21, with 19:21 remaining in the second. So a slashing penalty to Theodos will put the Eagles on the power play. They still have not gotten a power play goal this season. I believe it's 0 for 11 or 0 for 12 so far in 2024 on the power play. So the Eagles will look to see if they can break the streak. Breaking out with it is Howell, just like he did earlier when he scored, and Howell off the outside of the net. Thought that one in for a second there myself. Now Murray back out, and the Eagles will look to set something up here. Out into the corner near us is O'Connell. They push it back in deep. Howell trying to get an edge, not able to do so, and it goes out and is cleared by by St. A's. Eagles now looking to make a rush up, and on the right side with it is McGuigan. McGuigan now gets it over to the left to Santoro. Delory now from the point, save Hansen, who Coach and I were talking about it during the intermission. This is his first start of the season. Cam Carroll has had the start in the first 5 games for St. A's. This is Tucker Hansen's first start, the junior, this year.
Yeah, there was good rotation up top with posts, but they'll need to get some traffic in front to make those shots from the points more effective.
Delory with it, and now Santoro looks to fire, can't do so, and then getting it out of harm's way is Chase Reynolds. Eagles will now do it from their end of the ice and try and get something working with about half of the power play gone by. 50 seconds remaining on this one. It's dumped in deep by the Eagles. Delory behind the net, grabbing it, and now it's over to Santoro. Santoro fighting for it, and he's going to push it out, and Delory not able to get that clear as it was cleared out by Leinart on the defense. Back behind the net with it is Kennedy. Eagles with 25 seconds and counting remaining on this power play, looking for one last rush attempt to get something going here. Santoro gets pushed out of the way by Blaney, and the Hawks look like they will clear it and kill off the power play with 10 seconds to go. The pressure still being applied there by Rossi. And Delory will try and come out with it, and now pushing it ahead is Howell. Pushing that one ahead now is Atkinson, fired, Hansen save, and now back with it comes Blaney. Now McGuigan with a takeaway. Nothing doing there as the defense collapsed on him and Vanderveen, and then a fire up at the point. It looks like by McGuigan or Tommy Bice will get a set up an offensive opportunity here for the Eagles with 17:05 left.
Yeah, that was a good job by Post of taking advantage of an errant play and turning it into something.
Face off there, won by Post for a second. McGuigan looked to fire, and it was just taken away as his stick broke in half by Kelly. Kelly now trying to push the pace, tries to fire, can't do so, and the puck gets blocked away. Back out with it is St. A's. Firing it wide is Martinetti. And now over on the other side with it, it looks like coming out with that puck is going to be Atkinson. Atkinson pushes out Howell now into the zone, and taken away there by Hoffman. Hawks coming back with speed the other way, but not nearly as much as we saw at that start of the first period. A little less aggressive as they were before in terms of pushing the pace of play so far to start this one. Trying to play a little slower and more methodical, it seems like, instead of just running and gunning up and down. Kelly fires on Kunin, pushed away and out to the left side with it as the Eagles clear, and out to go grab that one is Theodos, who just came out of the box a few minutes ago for that early slashing. The Eagles still 0 for on the power play this year as they were unable to convert on that one. Pushing that one out to the point is Bolak, and firing it towards the net was Tanner Glassroot, and with a nice shoulder save, it's still 3-1 in favor of Post. Now with it are the Hawks trying to get something going, but over there to grab it is McCowell. McCowell now going behind his net out to the blue line and pushes that one ahead to number 14, Jake Alloy. Looks like they're going to get an icing call here, and We'll head over to the post side of the ice. Again, the Eagles allowed 35 shots to St. A's in the first period. 11 of those were blocked. So far in this one, the Eagle defense seems to be doing a lot better in terms of preventing those chances for the Hawks in the first 5 or so minutes. As I say that, one opportunity right there by Blaney is pushed away again by Kunin. Blaney now in the corner trying to fight for it, and he will just try and push that one along, is unable to get it anywhere. And see the referee's arm up. It looks like we're going to get a penalty here. Looks like it's a hook. That's going to be hooking here on number 23, Ryan O'Connell. And this, coach, is a big chance now for St. A's to try and get some momentum back in their favor.
Yeah, we haven't seen their power play yet, so it'll be interesting to see exactly how they do run it. They've had, some success, not a lot, right? I think one power play goal this season for them, but they have shown that they can score on the power play.
Yeah, looking at it, they do have one power play goal from Luke Mix this season, but that's it. So a hooking penalty sends O'Connell to the penalty box as the Hawks will look to use this 5-on-4 advantage as a chance to get back into this. And what a nice save by Kunin on the shot by Leinart on the first shot attempt of the power play for the Hawks. Reynolds in the face-off circle for the Hawks and wins it. As St. A's trying to get back into this one, down 3-1. The Eagles do a good job of clearing there, though. 1:30 to go on the power play. One shot so far for the Hawks in this one on the power play, and it was stopped by Kunin with the glove, and now pushing it in deep and looking to try and get a backhand shot over there was Kelly, not able to do so. Kelly now out to the point, pushes it into Leinart, and now Leinart into the corner. It's dumped around, and it's going to go off the netting. So a nice stoppage here for the Eagles to get some fresh legs with 1:12 remaining. And the face-off looks like to Kunin's our left, Kunin's right.
Yeah, St. A's moving the puck, but not really moving it very deliberately and with a real purpose, and trying to see what shot they're looking for.
Eagles win the face-off. It looks like that was Santoro who took it and won it, and it forces St. A's back. Santoro quickly comes off the ice and is changed out for McGuigan. Into the offensive zone with St. A's. For St. A's with that puck was Blaney, and now he pushes it up to the point over at Brackett. Brackett, who has the goal already, fires it in deep, and it goes around, and the Eagles look to clear, and they do. A nice clear over there by Wyatt Noble, and we're about 30 seconds remaining, 40 seconds on the clock on this power play, about 30 by the time they're able to get it up to the offensive side. Brackett now firing in, and it's blocked in front there. Another block for the Eagles defense. It looks like it was Bice who got a stick on it. And right back out to the point with it is Alberti. Alberti over to the left side with Blaney. Blaney into the middle over to Brackett. Brackett back out at the point. That's fired by Blaney, and it's stopped over there by, yet again, the post defense. Blaney with it up top, circling around, and then over with it again is Alberti. Alberti into the corner, nothing doing there. And then clearing it out, it looks like that was Pekka, not able to do so. Back in deep with it are the Hawks. That's Burham in the corner as the penalties expires. 13-13 remaining, and a nice backhanded shot there by Brackett is turned away by Kunin. Hawks still controlling in the offensive side of the ice despite it being back to 5-on-5. Over there with it is Alberti. Alberti pushes it in deep. Kunin, nice save there. Couldn't see who it was from. It looks like it was DeMarini's. As Ben Kunin with another save, and it keeps the score at 3-1. 12:57 left.
Yeah, you could see as we got into the last third of that power play there, St. A just sort of simplifying and just throwing pucks in deep to the net, sort of taking a page out of post book.
Face-off win by St. A's, fired in deep, and that'll go off the netting, and we'll get another face-off. So far this period, 11 shots for St. A's, 5 on goal. For post, 3 on goal, 5 shots total. Each team with the power play, nothing doing on that post, holding the face-off advantage 5-3. Make that 6-3 on that one. And in the game so far now, 15 blocked shots. So that's 4 more this period so far for Post. Eagles get it on their end of the ice. It's Glassrud trying to push it in deep, and he does. It was tipped, so icing will be washed out. And now St. A's back with the puck over there. It's Rossi trying to push it ahead. Now Hawks on the offensive side of the puck with Cordiero. Cordiero pushes it into the corner. That's Armstrong. Armstrong back out to the point to Cordiero, and then into the middle. It goes to a pile of Eagles as Glassrud's going to get that out. It's going to be Swain dumping it in deep, and it hits off of the ref. So unfortunately, it'll go back. It's the way of the Hawks. Now going to be icing or Cooning. Dangerous play coming out to get it as Reynolds was flying in, trying to get that one. But now the Eagles back the other way. Santoro over to Norling, and then back over to Santoro, but it's taken away by Mix. Mix gets it over to number 8, John Myers. Back out in transition with it is Leinart. Leinart onto the offensive side of the ice. Leinart behind the goal is hounded there by Delory and another Eagle defender in Kennedy. And now Delory pushing off the puck on Myers. He's able to try and get it out. Back out to the point with it is Theodos. And now down with it comes Kennedy again. So the Eagles will look to try and clear this one out of harm's way. Again, St. A's applying a lot of pressure here to start the second period as well. But the Eagles doing a good job of counteracting that. Still in deep with it now is Reynolds. Reynolds fighting for it with Kennedy and a couple other Eagles as somebody fell to the ground there for St. A's. And a little pushing and shoving here. You don't want to draw any stupid penalties here if you're Post, especially in a 3-1 game, and potentially have the momentum swing in the other direction. Santoro gets it away from, that was Leinart over there, and now back out to the point. Keeping it in nicely is Theodos before coming off the ice. St. A still in the attacking zone as it's Leinart now with it. And now that goes up and out of play for Kunin, and we'll have a face-off, it looks like, to the left.
Yeah, Post is actually doing a really good job in the defensive zone. If you watch, they're forcing the St. Anselm players so often onto their backhands, which makes it very difficult to make a good, meaningful pass. Your body's turned a separate way, and you just don't have quite the strength and zip on a pass on your backhand as you do on your forehand.
Face off to Kunins. Got a stoppage here, so Santoro's coming off the ice, it looks like, and we got a face off to the right side of Kunin. As they'll drop the puck here momentarily. That's Alberti for St. A's, who wins the faceoff, and now up top with it is Vanderveen. It's blocked, and a nice save there by Kunin. Noble tries to get a stick on it and get it out to the Post defense over there with Bice. Not able to do so, and I don't know how that wasn't a high stick there, as that stick came up really high from Kelly above his head. Kelly fires to Kunin's left. Nice save there, and then it was sticked away by, it looks like that was Noble there on the left side to get it out of the way of Kunin in front. Kelly almost able to handle that one in front and get a shot on Kunin, but unable to do so. And now back into the corner with it was just Alberti. As St. A's continues to control the puck possession and time of possession in terms of zone play so far, as Blaney now in the back with it as we are just over halfway gone here in the second. Kelly, a shot blocked there by Noble. Post still leading 3-1. They've gone into the third period, too, with a few leads this season so far, and in both instances, we're unable to keep hold of them. So we'll see if they can, as long as they hold this 3-1 lead, continue that, flip the script, I should say, on that stat so far this year, as Kunin has been standing on his head through these first two periods, and if he keeps it up, has a case for goalie of the week, I would think, in the NE10. With the performance he had today, he's having so far today, and what he had against Westfield State a few days ago. Face-off win for Post, still deep in their own zone as Glassrud jumps on the puck and gets it over to Beckett. Beckett gets it stuck in the corner over there with a few people, and now the door opens, so we're going to have to stop play there because can't play that way. It looks like Glassrud and another St. A's player bumped into the door, and it just somehow opened. And so we'll have a face-off to the right of Kunin again because of that. It'll be Bolak for the Eagles taking it. Pair of number 12s there. It was Barum as well, and it's broken out by the Eagles. Heading the other direction. Firing on net with that one was McCowell, and it's stopped by Hansen, who's looked a lot better in this second period so far after the rough stretch he had towards the end of that first period.
Yeah, well, there's your first game, on the road. There'll be that little bit of jitters, and that's what's kind of fun about watching goalies. Watch and see who can kind of reset, refocus, and so far, like you said, done a good job.
Shot there to the right side of O'Connell. It goes out of play, and we'll get another face-off, looks like, to the right side of us, left side of Hansen in net. See who takes it. It's going to be Murray for post. Loses that face-off to Barum, and out with it are the Hawks, trying to go in the other direction. That's DeMarinis with it, trying to fire it across, and it looks like it got the stick of Barum, but then it just kind of went back into the corner. Now a centering pass from Barum, unable to get there. As the fight for the puck in the corner is won by Glassroot, and it's taken out by Glassroot. Now out to center ice with it is Swain. Swain, what a hit there against Swain and Hoffman going head-to-head there in the corner. Drawing big blows against each other as the other way comes Brackett with it. Brackett looks to get it off, and just taken away from that play was Kennedy. He was able to take him off the puck. No trip or anything there. Norling with the dump off. He was looking for somebody to come in. That was Kimball looking for somebody to come in. There was nobody there to aid him in doing so. Nice pass to Nil Santoro. Shot wide. Blocked away by Hansen. Now another one fired on net. It's still loose. That was fired from the point up top by Delory. And a couple Eagles in the fray there. Looks like it was Santoro and Kimball trying to get something in by Hansen. And Hansen was able to stick it out of there. Loose stick on the ice. It looks like everybody's got their stick who's on the ice right now, though, for both sides. Hawks looking to do something in transition. Now we got a little pushing and shoving here. Not sure what that was about between Kennedy and Armstrong. Just a hard hit, and now Armstrong the other way. Nice save by Kunin. And then another shot fired on net there by Cordiero. So a little bit of a scrum between Armstrong and Kennedy, and then Armstrong strong arms his way through the middle. But a nice stop by Kunin, and then on the redirect was able to make another nice save there against Cordero to keep this at a 2-goal game in favor of Post.
Yeah, it's interesting, right, when we get caught up a little bit in that little extracurricular, how things can open up when you kind of forget that, oh yeah, we're playing a game and we need to pick guys up.
Eagles last year drew a few penalties from altercations of those sorts and a few game misconducts from them along the ways, and so far this year have been much more settled down. What a nice save with the pad over there by Kunin. Number coming across here, that was number 13, Hunter Rossi. What a save by Ben Kunin in the corner, going into the splits and just getting that right blocker on it to keep this at a 3-1 game. Again, Kunin just doing everything he possibly can to keep the Eagles ahead in this one. And credit too to head coach Tim Richter for throwing Kunin in there the hot hand after the game in this one, as Drew Blodgett's been the primary goalie in the conference games and to start the year. Kunin getting the start today after that win against Westfield, as Coach Richter going with the hot hand after the performance Kunin had the other day, and having obviously a couple days off before this one as that game was played on Tuesday. Breaking out with it are the Eagles. The other way now with it is Murray in the offensive side of the ice. The Eagles now with it back on defense, but can't get it on the offensive side because the players had to tag up at the blue line. Back with it comes St. A's. And that'll be Glassroot going over to grab it. Now trying to push it in there was Bice. Hawks coming back out with it, and that's Leinart. Leinart now racing in with it is Blaney. Blaney now with a shot and a nice save by Kunin again. He was way outside of the goal mouth too. No Hawks behind the play are able to get to that one and clean up what could have been a second goal for St. A's to get back in this one. Bice fires it out, and that one looked to be gloved down there by Aloy. Hawks applying a little bit more pressure now as we come upon 6.5 minutes remaining here in the second period. Post still leading 3-1 behind 3 first period goals. All ones down the stretch for the Eagles.
Yeah, St. Anselm's is going to definitely want to apply more pressure here, right? It's a big difference going into a third period down 3-2 versus 3-1.
Yeah, and we did see the Eagles take a 2-0 lead into the third against St. Mike's last weekend. And then St. Mike's was able to come back. So no lead is safe at all, even if it is 3-1 heading into the third. The Posts got to continue to put their foot on the gas like they have in this period. Playing a much more consistent second period, too, compared to the first. Again, even though the score is 3-1 in favor of the Eagles, they were outshot big time, almost over double the shots overall and doubled in shots on goal. But a big reason why this game is 3-1 is because of some quick scoring towards the end of that first, as well as Ben Cooning, who has been really solid in net as we had a takedown there, and I think we're going to get a penalty now.
Yeah, if you watch, too, in this period so far, the Post forwards have bought in to when that puck is near that blue line, there's nobody cheating. There's nobody coming out over the blue line. They're playing very well defensively and staying even with or slightly above the puck in an effort to just kind of pick guys up, close gaps. They've done a very good job of that so far. We'll see what we can do on the penalty kill here.
Tommy Bice, 2 minutes. It looked like it was for a hold. So once again, this will be St. A's second power play. And again, only one goal, the second power play this period. One goal on the power play this year. That one's blocked down, and Cooning, oh, I thought he had the save there. He does not. As that was Garrett Alberti, it looks like, putting it home for St. A's, and they make quick work on the power play. No, excuse me, that's not Alberti. That is DeMarinis with the goal. So that's Patrick DeMarinis with the goal. It looked like Alberti had gotten a stick on it. He might get an assist on that one.
Yeah, one thing that is impressive with the skill and the way these guys shoot is those pucks are in and out of that net incredibly quick, which means you've got a lot on that shot.
It looked like Cooning had gotten a save there with the left pad, right pad if it's facing where you're watching from. St. A's leading 62-22 in shots overall and 32-13 in shots on goal. This period, 15-6 in shots. They lead after that one. Is Cooning another one and save? It looks like it went out of play. Cooning's had to make 14 saves in this period. Eagles winning on the face-off battle 11-8. And now St. A's with their second power play goal of the year just a little while ago from DeMarinis makes it a 3-2 game. So the Hawks now looking to do what the Eagles did down the stretch of the first period. Maybe get a couple quick ones and send this game into the third, tied at 3. 4.5 minutes to go here in the second. Mike Vesey joined alongside Pete Whitney calling the action of this one. The Eagles in their first real home game of the season as they played last week at the Louis Astorino Arena. As a few hard hits here, and again, you don't want to take anything stupid. Delory pushing a lot in the backside of fellow number 27, Hunter Brackett, who has a goal, and what a save there by Cooning again on the puck in front. Delory being aggressive back there, and a hard hit there. We're going to have some bodies flying, and we're going to get a stoppage there.
Be a charge, maybe?
Yeah, I didn't see anybody go up for... They did call a penalty there.
Yeah, I think it's interference.
On Baram.
So Post with a good opportunity now, Mike, on their power play, and see if they can't return the favor.
Yeah, it looks like that was interference call. Baram was just trying to hit anybody he could find for a couple of seconds there. Right after he took down, I couldn't see who he took down, but after that takedown over there, he tried to go right at Delory, who was right next to him, who was twice his size. Hawks win the faceoff and are going to clear it out. Cooning grabs it, but flying in to try and do something with it on defense is Hunter Rossi. Now back with it is Parker Norling. Norling kicks it out and is not able to do anything with it, as that was Murray, who wasn't able to keep his stick on it. Hawks now trying to do something shorthanded. As flying with the puck is Blaney behind the net. Eagles not looking much like a power play right now. They're really on the defensive. on the 5-on-4 advantage. And again, like I mentioned, coming into this game, they have struggled on the power play. They're 0 for 1 today, trying to avoid going 0 for 2, but more importantly in power plays this season, they're 0 for 12. So trying to avoid being 0 for 14. And now on the penalty kill this year, they've allowed 4 goals so far after that one to St. A's, who's had 3 power plays today. Behind the net with it is Kennedy. As the Eagles looking to set something up here. We're over halfway through the penalty already. Eagles no shots yet. Now a chance here for Santoro, and it's blocked down by somebody in front and nearly got the redirect over to Aloy, which would have had a wide open left side of Hansen, right side of Hansen, left side for us. As Delory with a shot saved by Hansen. 32 seconds to go on the power play. 2:35 remaining. 3-2. Post with the faceoff coming to the right side of us.
Yeah, that's a good play. I think that's their best opportunity is get pucks from low to high, get the shot through, but definitely have some traffic, have somebody looking around for rebounds, because rebounds control is just okay, but not great.
And with Joe Santoro in the circle, that's who you want trying to get something in there for the Eagles to win a faceoff, and he does. Santoro with 3 goals on the year. Not able to handle that one as another clear. 20 seconds left. Enough time for another rush here for Post. Delory with it right now behind the net. Pushing out that way is Baxter Kimball. And now it goes back over to Delory. Looks like they're not going to get another rush. That's going to be offsides if they touch it. So Hawks get it. 2 seconds left. What a hit there. And it might lead to a goal. Right on the doorstep with it is Santoro, and just couldn't finish on that. A nice hit in open ice there. Set up Santoro all alone with Hansen, and he just can't finish the job. So it remains, it wouldn't have come on the power play anyways. It was just after the power play expired, but still nonetheless would have been a big goal to get back there. The Eagles now come with pressure. McCowell with it. Pushes it out over to O'Connell. Tried to set up somebody in the middle, wasn't able to do so. The puck goes over to St. A's. Is another dangerous hit there. Eagles starting to try and pull some hits here too that you want to be careful with not to draw a penalty. But most importantly, if you do it to one team, they might try and do it to you after. That one's deeply put in by Beckett. And around to grab that one is DeMarini's. DeMarini's knocked to the ice, and over with it now is McCowell in the corner. McCowell trying to get something going. Shifts it over to the front. McCowell now into the corner, and now out top fires, and Noble. It's blocked away by DeMarini's as we hit 1 minute remaining, and another hard hit over. Man, there's a lot of hard hits all over the ice right now for both sides, and it's setting up for what could be a very exciting third period, but also a very penalty-laden third period if both teams aren't careful with the way they're hitting some of these guys in open ice with and without the puck. Now back with it, trying to clear it was Howell, not able to do so. Puck loose in front on the shot opportunity at the point for the Hawks. Nothing doing there, and another dangerous one in front, and another penalty coming, it looks like. And that looks like it's going to be against Post, and I think it might be for a trip.
Yeah, it looks like he came in there with his stick, got into his feet.
So it is a penalty for St. A's, number 26, Garrett Alberti. Looks like it must have been a trip there. I thought it was on Post for a minute there because I saw the St. A's player go down in front, but instead it'll be a Post power play, which unless they score here in the final 24, will linger into the third.
Yeah, it's not a great penalty to take in your offensive zone.
Delory at the point, and then Kennedy has it. Now Kennedy again, back over to Delory with space. Delory fires, and that one's saved by Hansen with 12.3 to go. In front looking to clean that one up was Aloy. Enough time for 1 or 2 more shots here if you're Post, if you win the face-off. And again, Santoro has been money on the face-off so far this year, and he wins another one as Delory's got it at the point. Delory looks to fire. He does, and that one's gotten away by Hansen. And a backhanded shot there by number 19, Baxter Kimball. Just missed going in. The Eagles will gladly take that one down without any further harm done. Baxter Kimball on the doorstep, not quite able to finish the job on the shot, as the Eagles will head into the third with a 3-2 lead. and 1:36 remaining on the power plays. We get you some quick stats here at the end of the second. Overall in the game, 70 shots to 29 in favor of St. A's. 35 to 19, I should say. St. A's leads in shots on goal. Post 0 for 3 on the power play, and correction from earlier, that was only 2 power plays on the day for St. A's. They're 1 for 2 on the power play. Post winning the face-off battle, 25 wins to 17 and 19 block shots. So they had 8 more in that period. Leading the way in the face-off circle, trying to pull up the face-off numbers if possible on here. Yeah, Joe Santoro, like I mentioned, a game-leading 10 face-off wins, most amongst any player. 10 of 13 won, as the Eagles behind Ben Cooney making 33 saves so far lead this one 3-2 with 20 minutes to go. And Coach, how do they finish this one off with the way the Hawks have been playing and what's been a battle? It got a little chippy there towards the end of the second.
It did. So first and foremost, stay with your really good D-zone coverage like you were doing. Like I said, forwards and D, selling out, staying in zone, picking up men, marking up, taking away their time and their space. So first and foremost, that's what you got to do. The second thing is, third periods, everybody gets a little tired, a little fatigued. You need to win the battles with your feet, not your stick. When you start to stop moving your feet, you'll hook, you'll trip. And we've already seen St. Anselm's has got to be feeling pretty good about getting their power play goal, second one of the season. So you've got to play 5-on-5. To me, that's the biggest key, is playing 5-on-5.
Yeah, that's why you got to try and limit the potential for a penalty to happen with some of, again, like those open ice hits that we were seeing here that could easily turn into penalties, depending on how they play it off of the puck. So the Eagles got to try and make sure they maintain their composure here in this third and just continue to play their game down the stretch. As we're about 13 and a half minutes from the third period started. We'll take a quick break here and bring you the third period after this with the Eagles leading 3-2 over St. A's. We're here with our post-university men's basketball 2024-25 Media Day, joined by graduate student Harrison Warnock. Harrison, you're coming off an injury last year, kind of came back quicker than you expected to. Now you're fully healthy. What are you looking forward to this year?
Oh, man, I'm just really excited to finally be back on 2 legs after, you can see in the film, even looking back, just hobbling around for most of the season. So I'm excited to see what I can really do and what I can really bring to the table for this team and see how well we can mesh together.
And what was that like last year, kind of coming back all of a sudden and reintegrating yourself into a bigger role than you thought you were going to have coming off of surgery?
Yeah, I mean, definitely had some ups and downs. In the beginning, my head wasn't there. I was just thinking about, if I just didn't get hurt, everything like that. But my teammates always had my back. They kept pushing me. They kept saying, keep going, you'll be fine, and it all worked out.
How do you integrate the newcomers onto this roster? There's only a couple of them, but still integrating them into the culture that you talked about back in March when we talked about the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, I see us as a team that, we really buy into what Coach is trying to tell us and, push us in the right direction. So I feel like especially some of the older guys like Tyler and I have been here for forever at this point, so we can definitely bring them along and, show them the ropes and see how, everything's supposed to go down.
And then pretty much the same team as last year, give or take a few people, and then obviously the newcomers. What do you think this group can accomplish this year?
I definitely, I'm excited to see. As long as we can, keep our heads together and, keep having each other's backs and we buy into what Coach is trying to teach us and what he wants us to do, I think we can definitely make a big season this year. So I'm excited for that.
We're joined here by Dang Dieng and Bull Acott. Guys, 1-2 punch in offense last year. Both were all conference. Dang, you were all region. How do you guys set the tone for this season?
I think we're going to come back with the same energy and just show that we're the most dominant team and be the most aggressive team in the conference and be one of the best teams in the country. So I think we just start by having a good season, going hard right away, and just proving that we are the same team from last year and even better.
I agree with that, but I also think that we just need to come back with the same mentality, but with some more. And we've been in this situation before, because from last year we just got piggyback, just up our intensity and our focus, our energy and everything, and just lead the team as we did last year, but just with some more maturity and, yeah, overall.
Yeah, and Bull, you talked about last year your desire to win it all. So what do you have to do to help make that happen this year, do you feel?
I think I just got to lead by example and just to make sure, because I know Kuntz believes that we can win, and I believe we can win. So as I instill that all to all of us in the locker room, I feel like we can all be on the same page because we all know we can win.
And then, Dan, you got a lot of looks after the year was over, and you had a very dominant year, like I mentioned, all region. What brought you back to Post for this chance at another NCAA tournament run?
It's a family environment over here, you know. These are my guys, Bull, Rob, Harry, the rest of the team. Coach Kuntz is a really good coach. And, you know, you can't get that feeling from everywhere. Like, you might go somewhere, but you might not be wanted as much, or you might not be valued as much. So it's about just being where you're valued and where you can be the best you. So I think Post will help me do that.
And then lastly, pretty much the same team from last year, give or take a couple guys. But what do you think overall this team can accomplish?
I think we can win the whole thing. I think we should come back this year and win the CACC championship because we deserve to, and we've been through a lot. So I think that's where we start. It's just building games one by one and keep going and playing hard the whole year. And I think we should end up in the tournament again.
Yeah, I definitely think we can win it all. And it just starts literally preseason and stacking up good days in each and every day and then taking it one game at a time. But I really believe that we can win it all. Starting with the CACC, go to the tournament, and win everything.
We're here with Tyler Small, who's coming back to the team after missing all last year with injury. And Tyler, kind of going off of that, what was it like sitting out last year? What are you most excited about coming into this year?
I say last year was really tough. It was hard because when I came to school, I was like, okay, I'm going to play. I am getting off injury, but like I'm ready to go. And then after the first couple like preseason workouts, shoot rounds, I'm like, all right, I'm not at 100%. And it was nice because Coach was willing to hear me out and gave me the opportunity to redshirt and actually get back to full health. But that doesn't mean that I took last season off. I feel like I was almost like an assistant coach and kind of helping our really new team last year integrate and being able to almost be like a liaison sometimes between them and Coach and just helping them really get into a flow. And I think now, this year, it's going to really show that I've been able to at least stay in touch with everybody. And really, I think we're going to have a really good chemistry coming out.
Talk about that role a little bit, too, last year, what it was like being on the bench with the players. I know I was at one of your practices around Halloween, and you were dressed up like Wario, and, like, you were very involved still with the practices and stuff.
I think because one thing that Coach was really serious about was kind of making sure that I'm still engaged mentally. And being in practice and kind of having a more elevated role was good for me to really stay involved and stay vocal and still kind of have, hopefully, give off a leadership image and be able to get people to buy in early. When you have a new team, it is difficult, and that's like one of the hardest things. And I think it really worked because being a player coach kind of, they were able to say, you know what, maybe it's not just Coach yelling at us this time, but maybe there's something to it, and they just gave them a different perspective.
Now, pretty much a similar team to last year. What are you most excited about being back on the court with this squad for? What do you think they can accomplish?
I think we had a great team last year. I think Coach really got everyone together, and we have some good players, which is always a benefit. But I think this year now, hopefully I could just add a little bit something to that, maybe whether that be outside shooting, maybe it's just extra defense. And I think really we just have to find our flow early and be unselfish and be able to, share the wealth. I think we have a lot of pieces, and it's all about just coming together as a team and working towards our common goal.
We're here with head coach Mark Kuntz as we round out the men's basketball 2024-25 Media Day. Coach Kuntz heading into his 8th season with the team, 9th overall. Coach, what did it mean to be part of history with this program last year?
It was unbelievable, Mike. When I took the job 9 years ago, didn't really know what I was stepping into, and then had to go through over a lot of hurdles to get the program to a respectable place and then to a championship level, and then just to be able to do it for the first time in school history, make that accomplishment with those group of guys was just an unreal experience.
And talk a little bit about, we saw some photos with your daughter at the selection show and after your win against St. Thomas Aquinas up there. How special was it to be able to enjoy that with your family?
Yeah, I mean, she's around all the time. She's a part of this place. She's like my associate head coach. I call her all the time. She always asks what's going on. So having her there, for the selection show, because she's a part of it. Having her in Vermont was just great. Brought her in the locker room. Something she'll forget, but I'll never forget. And those memories are, you can't talk about it. My wife, my mother, my brother were up in Vermont as well. So just to be able to share that with them gives the accomplishment 10 times. Not even that, more than that, makes it even more valuable.
And, of course, you've been here for a while, seen those ups and downs of the program to build it to what it is now. Talk about what's gone into that culture change and building the program to where it is.
Yeah, I think it starts with the players. You've got to have good players or else, you're not a good coach. And not that I am a good coach, bad coach, whatever. We've just got it to the point where we've figured out the players that can help us win. We need tough guys that are athletic and really compete, and they want to win. And the last 5 years, we've had those guys. And it took some time to figure out who and what to get there. And now we're getting those guys. And it's just kind of now passing off year to year. Now the new guys are learning from the older guys what it takes to survive. Because as you well know, I'm not easy to play for. I hold guys accountable. But I think that's why, we're as good as we do, because I hold them every day, every play to a certain level, and there's accountability. And with that, it's not easy. And I think now these older players are teaching the younger players. And when you've got that culture, I don't like using the word culture a lot, but when you have that, it's really makes my life a lot easier.
And this year you're returning pretty much majority of that NCAA tournament team outside of one or two guys, I think, and you're getting back Tyler Small this year. You're bringing in 4 or 5 newbies.
Yes.
What do you think this program can do this year based on that?
I think these guys can do as much as they want. And, last year was great. We didn't shoot the ball great. I think that's our biggest thing. I've talked to the guys. You have to shoot the ball better. If we want to do what we did last year and beyond, we've got to shoot it better. And that's in their hands. I don't make shots. Last time I checked, I don't step on the floor. So that's in their hands. And it's going to be my job to kind of manage because, now that we've won, there's kind of an ego, right? There's an expectation for certain guys. And we've got guys that want to play after their career. So managing that is going to be my job. But when we go out there, we just have to be the hardest playing team in the region, like we talked about last year. I think we'll do that. But if we can make more shots, this team can be special.
Head coach Mark Kuntz, 8th season with the team, 9th year overall. Post men's basketball will get underway at the beginning of November with their season already receiving votes in the national poll heading into the 2024-25 campaign. Third period of action getting ready to get underway in about 45 seconds from now. Post University leading 3-2 over St. Anselm College. This was an Eagles team that did in fact beat St. Anselm last year, 3-2 in overtime on a Jack Engdahl game-winning goal for, like we mentioned, falling 5-3 against them, 2 at home in those 2 home games last year. Coach, what do the Eagles have to do through these final 20 minutes to secure that crucial first conference win of the year?
Well, getting this minute 36 of a power play certainly could help. I mean, it's not the be-all and end-all, but to pop one here and really put that pressure on St. Anselm's being down 2 goals would be a big difference maker for sure. But after that, like we talked about, Mike, good defensive zone, wait for opportunities, don't push.
It would also, again, be their first power play goal of the season if they're able to find the back of the net here in the next minute and a half now. As we're underway here with the third period and a clear by the Hawks. Gets it back into the Eagles zone where Kennedy picks it up. Kennedy behind his own net. Trying to get out in transition, and Delory unable to handle it, and a little bit of a tough one to get out of there for Rossi to try and get on it for the Hawks. Eagles now on the offensive side. Kennedy over to Delory, and that one's fired, and it's scored! Baxter Kimball. He almost had one at the end of the second on the backhander against Hansen, but Baxter does business here to start off the third, and it's on the power play, the first power play goal of the season for the Eagles, who are now ahead 4-2.
And that's the one you're looking for because that can change the complexion of a game for sure. Now the key is that Post plays the same way, doesn't get into a defensive shell, just plays responsible, takes advantage of opportunities, and doesn't try to jump when they shouldn't.
Still 19-21 to go in this one, but Baxter Kimball gets his first goal of the season. The transfer from SUNY Fredonia, one of 2. Santoro is the other one who transferred in. So the first power play goal of the season for the Eagles couldn't come at a bigger time as Trey Delory threw it on net towards Hansen, and Kimball was right there to clean it up and do the damage that he nearly did at the end of the second. Hawks now with it, looking to make a quick answer back. As in the offensive side with his bracket who had scored earlier. Kunin in the net, able to kind of make a stop there, and then another shot by DeMarinis. Turned away by him, but the Hawks still with it on their side of the ice, and a nice shot there by Vanderveen. Up at the point, what a save. Nope, no save there. It looked like he saved it coming down as Baram buries that one, and less than a minute later, we're back to a 1-goal game as Max Baram buries it by Kunin over the top. I thought he got a save going into the dive there for a moment.
Yeah, and really no chance there for Ben. Defenders got scrambly, puck watched, and he was able to find a seam and just slide right in there.
Yeah, that middle of the ice yet again open for St. A's. I believe 2 of their 3 goals have come in such fashion so far now, with that open part of the zone being there. However, right now, Post looking to, again, now hang on to a 1-goal lead as they had just re-upped it to 2 on the power play goal by Baxter Kimball, and then the Hawks just answered right back, and icing going to be washed out there as a good move down the ice by Hugh McGuigan. Lots of hockey to play here still, and the Hawks threatening once more as a nice move in by Leinart. Thrown across on net, nothing doing there for the Hawks, and now breaking out with it again is Atkinson. Behind the net, Atkinson can't get the race to the puck as Theodos is going to get it. Theodos now with the behind his own net, looking to make a move. So since Hansen had allowed those 2 goals at the end of the first, the Eagles since then only 1 goal, so Hansen again has settled down. And Kunin, even though he's given up those 3 goals, has looked really good in a lot of those key situations to help keep this at what could easily be a very, very high-scoring game. It could easily be probably 5 or 6 in favor of St. Anselm, 5-6 goals for them. with the way things have gone in both directions for these teams is getting into the zone is Norling from Santora. That's been a connection to watch in this game in terms of how well they've been able to move the puck around, especially with their speed. Back into the zone with it is St. A's. Mix over there with Kennedy. Kennedy is able to get it for a moment, but then it's taken away by Kelly. Firing on net with that one. It looked harmless by Mix, and then all of a sudden another shot opportunity nearly by Kelly on the open left side gave them a chance at a tie game, but we remain at a one-goal game in favor of Post, as it has been for most of this one so far. Kicking that one out of there is Kimball, who just had that goal to start this period. It's been Hugh McGuigan, Jacob Howell, Baxter Kimball with the goals, and then Parker Norling as well with the 4 for Post. Hansen with a nice save there, goes out of play with 16:04 remaining. On the other end, it's DeMarini's Barum and Brackett with the goals for St. A's, who are looking to get back into this one to move to 3-0 in conference play, while the Eagles at 0-2 after losing both their games to St. Mike's look to move to 1-2 in the conference. And interesting so far this season, all but one of Post's games have come by one goal, which was a theme last year where they had 9 or 10 one-goal games that they lost. So far this year in one-goal games, the Eagles have a win. His last game against Westfield State, but they're 1-2 so far in one-goal games this year. And that was a nice shot attempt there by Armstrong on the rally coming in flying, and he was unable to put it past Kooning with 15.5 to go here in regulation. Again, this year new with the rules that the NCAA has enacted, they will play overtime, and if it's still tied, we'll go to a shootout just like they do at the NHL level. No more ties in college hockey. That one's fired by Armstrong, and it gets blocked away and goes out of play.
Yeah, the pace has definitely picked up since those 2 goals were scored. There's no question. It's been fun up and down. Probably not as much fun for the coaches, but fun for us to watch.
And it'll be interesting to see if Post is able to maintain that speed down the stretch, because this was something we saw in the last game where the third period was really heavily tilted in Westfield State's favor. So can the Eagles avoid another third period like that? Because against a Hawks team like this, not to discredit Westfield, but this Hawks team looks a lot better than Westfield is in terms of overall makeup and in terms of what they can bring to the table skill-wise, that it's a lot more dangerous, I would say, having it on the defensive end of the ice for most of this third if you're a Post against the St. A's team.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. I mean, St. Anselm's is averaging over 3 goals a game, so...
Shot just wide of the net by Hoffman, and again, the Hawks continuing to maintain pressure. This was, again, like I mentioned, the third period last game was heavily in favor of the opposition, and Kooning came up with a lot of crucial saves to keep that at 2-2 when it could have easily gone wonky in favor of the Owls. And he'll look to do it again here as a nice backhanded shot there by DeMarini's goes just out and wide, and then nearly over there to get a tip in is Brackett off of the shot by Hoffman. In the corner, Delory trying to get Barum off of the puck. He successfully looked like he was able to do so for a minute. He's got to be careful where that stick is going. It was just up under the armpit for a second of Barum. Now pushing it out are the Eagles in transition the other way. Swain chasing after the puck. Hampson touches up on it. Swain steals it away, and now he's going to have a shot here, but no numbers down there for Post. Howell now behind the goal. Tries to wrap around the net. Can't do so. Now shoots, and it's saved there by Hansen, and the Eagles will get a big chance here on the offensive end on the faceoff, but Scotty Swain's got to get out of there and not draw any penalty there as he'll come off of the ice.
Yeah, composure is very, very important for Post right now. Right, time is their friend as the seconds tick off, but you also have to play under composure and take care of the task at hand.
Yeah, the last thing you want is a penalty after the whistle that could put St. A's on the power play and put you in a PK situation where they just scored their first goal of the season on the power play last period and potentially flip momentum completely in favor of the Hawks, who seem to have a little bit of momentum right now after that goal that they just scored, and they've been racing all over the place. Cooney is going to have to cover on that as Reynolds, a nice save, and again, some pushing and shoving. Howell and Glassrud, the two doing a little bit of shoving with some Hawks players.
Yeah, good job, sticking up for your goaltender. He's been playing for you all night, so nothing wrong with that.
Santoro taking the face-off here. Again, he had 10 face-off wins entering this period. And only 3 losses. A shot, and it's loose in front. Kunin's able to make the save on the shot by Mix. But the puck stayed loose. And now it's out to Theodos. Theodos tries to push it in front, but it's taken away by Baxter Kimball. Kimball the other way with it. Tries to push it ahead to Norling. Norling with speed into the corner. Is going to get the edge on it. Is he able to get it there before he's hit by John Myers in the corner. Pushing it out of play, and it looks like it's going to be Santoro still on the puck before it's taken away by Myers. Up at the point, firing it in there is number 11, Tommy Bice. But the Hawks are able to glove it down, and the other way they'll try and come with it. With 5 people down the ice the other way, dumping it in deep is Myers off of the back wall, and it's nice check there by Kennedy to get the Hawks off the puck and keep it with the Eagles. Now it's back into the neutral zone, and with it is Vanderveen. Vanderveen wheeling it over to Martinetti. Now back into the post zone with it. Kennedy's going to pick it up. Kennedy pushing it around the net. Isn't quite able to get it over to who he wanted to, and Bolak, after Bolak tried to throw it towards the middle, and a near costly turnover to Barum there. Now on the other end, one of the post players able to get a shot attempt off in front of Hansen, but it's turned away, and now pushing that one off of the puck is Kunin, pushing that puck thrown in by Kelly off. Now the other way come the Eagles yet again, trying to get something going here, but it's been all Hawks here to start this period. And the last thing you want to do too is give the Hawks momentum not only in this period but into tomorrow as well, if they're able to steal this one back. Against the post team that's led most of the way, and then kicking it in real quick on the backhand. Oh man, a nice back and forth there between Kelly and Hoyt. And Kunin a little bit shaken up. He's up to his feet. He looks like he's okay. So Hoyt and Kelly with a little bit of back and forth there to try and get something in front of Kunin, and weren't quite able to get it where they wanted to. 11:47 still to go here in the third, and Post getting pressed hard right now by St. Anselm in the defensive zone. Face-off won by the Hawks, and it's shot on net there just wide by Hoffman. Fight for it in the corner. See who comes out with it as it's pinned against the wall. The Eagles probably hoping they can pin it against the wall for as long as possible to try and just waste as much clock as they can in this one-goal game that is heavily favored the Hawks in terms of shots in pretty much every major category besides face-offs. But the Eagles, with those 3 first-period goals, that's really what's been pacing them so far, as they've been kind of on their heels for the first few minutes of this period. Barum taking the draw with Murray. It's won by Barum up at the point. Fired in front. Kunin was hit down, and I think we're going to get a goaltender interference somewhere. Or it might just be a stoppage. And we got some back and forth going between Barum and Murray. See what gets sorted out here. I think the Hawks player might have just flown in there by accident, if anything, but I heard the whistle. No penalties awarded to either side. It looked like there was again, Post needs to keep their composure. Barum is trying to taunt them a little bit too. You got to keep your composure if you're Post. I know it can be aggravating to have somebody do that to you, but the last thing you want, again, is a ticky-tacky penalty that can put you on the PK and give momentum to St. A's, which is what Barum is trying to draw them to do. And he's successfully baited them a couple times to at least push and shove. Nothing that's been called so far with 10:56 remaining in the period.
Yeah, at the end of the day, especially as a younger team, you have to learn that how you win a game matters, right? You want to win, but how you win matters because it sets up, especially when you're playing, the 2 games in a row, it sets the stage for the next game, win or lose.
You got to expect, especially with the way this has gotten more and more chippy as this game's gone on, as another save by Kunin in net. We're going to see some fireworks in tomorrow's game, regardless of how this one turns out, with the way these two teams are playing each other so aggressively. We're probably going to see a few big hits tomorrow, and with the way Max Barum's been chirping the post players, especially here in the third, who knows if they try and send a message in the start of the game tomorrow. Just the way this game has really ramped up in terms of aggressiveness on both sides. Another shot thrown on net by Brackett off of the outside of the post, and now that one goes down the other end of the ice. Atkinson chasing after it. Hansen's going to pick it up, and Atkinson now going to push off of Vanderveen, who was on the puck. Now that one's in front, and a shot. It looks like it went off of the crossbar by Hugh McGuigan, who nearly had his second goal of the game. Hansen and the Hawks defense bailed out there. It looks like by the crossbar, and it went out of play. Might have been off his blocker. Couldn't quite tell from this angle, as it remains 4-3.
Yeah, and I'll tell you that even though he didn't really get an opportunity to move that puck, Atkinson made all that happen with his aggressive back check and then his turning into his forecheck.
Yeah, very aggressive getting down the ice after that puck was Atkinson, even though it looked like the Hawks are going to win the race to the puck. Right back into the zone with it, though, is Myers, as the Hawks are threatening here once more. Back behind Kunin, 10 minutes to go in regulation. Halfway home if you're the Eagles to getting away with a win in a game where really the Hawks have dominated offensively, but they're finding a way, the Eagles, with that 3-goal first, to stay in front ever so slightly against this St. Anselm team that has really pressed them hard and every chance that they get.
Yeah, zone time is important here, so you can minimize some of these, minor mistakes, these what look like innocuous plays, like an icing, but now you got to go 200 feet.
Especially down the stretch here, if Post can control the zone time on their end, as that one's fired in, a nice save by Kunin. Hoffman with the shot saved by Kunin. We'll get another offensive draw. If you're able to maintain the zone time, if you're Post, you also can prevent them, if it's still 4-3, from going to that empty net, which you really don't want to see with the way they've been able to press 5-on-5, let alone 6-on-5. As flying into the zone with it is McGuigan again, not able to get to it. Howell now over to it, won't be able to get there either, as Chase Reynolds picks it up, and it's out, moved into neutral ice. We got another stoppage here, pulling up some stats for you here.
Yeah, that'll be offsides. Howell was in the zone still, and the dump back in actually hit Howell.
Eagles being outshot overall 94-37 overall shots. Shots on goal, they're being doubled up on 44-22. Block shots, though, the Eagles with 23 compared to just 7 for St. Anselm. Behind the net with it is Post, but it's taken away there by Luke Mix, and out the other way come the Hawks. Mix dumping it in deep, and Delory's there to try and push it out. Back into the zone with it, though, are the Hawks, as Martinetti kicked it to the back of the zone. And now out to center ice it is, and it looks like they were trying to get an icing, but it's waved off because it didn't go far enough. Back with it is Theodos. Theodos pushing it in deep, and again, here are some St. A's players trying to get some pressure on that post D. But the post D, I will say, has done a good job of dumping that puck out of their zone quickly, even with that pressure from St. A's coming in so fast and furious the entire way. Behind the net with it is Blaney in his own zone, and now pushing it up is Theodos behind the net. Being hounded over there by Bolak. And now over on the right side with it is Kelly. Kelly pushes it over to Martinetti, and then they push it back in. A line change coming for the Hawks. Eagles with it and trying to push the pace here. Howell tries to get something going, and they got a breakaway here. That's Armstrong. Armstrong one-on-one, not able to get there. What a great recovery by Wyatt Noble to get over there and get a stick on Armstrong and keep him from having what would have been a certain goal, as Kunin was beat to his right side. Our right side, his left. Still with it, though, pressing are the Hawks. It's Rossi behind the net, throws it in front, and it's kicked out and back behind the blue line to Blaney. Throws it in deep. It would have been offside, so the players have to touch up. Noble, who just made that fantastic stop over there, and that's going to be icing, and Scotty Swaney running in a little bit too close there on Hoffman. No harm, no foul as he gets out of the way after that, but the ref knows what I was thinking too. You don't want to do something that's going to get you a penalty, so he's just trying to keep him away from the St. A's players.
Yeah, again, intensity is great, but tempered with composure.
Especially with 7:38 to go. The Eagles looking to hold on strong here, and that one's going to go off of the netting out of play, technically, and we'll have another face-off right there to Cooning's right, our left on the screen. Murray takes the face-off, loses it, and that one's bounced in front, and no one was able to find it. Brackett couldn't find it off of his back leg. So it was thrown in front quickly. Now Scotty Swaney with a head of steam coming down the left side, throws it in front, and it's right there for Murray, just not able to get his stick on it. Now back into the corner with it, and now taken and fired on net by Aloy. Save made by Hansen. With 7:11 to go in regulation, with Post still maintaining that 1-goal lead.
And that's what they've been able to do all night. You know, ton of pressure coming from St. Anselm's, but just one quick little play like that and couple good scoring opportunities.
If you're Post, this is a big face-off to try and control some zone time for a little bit, kill some clock, maybe get a few offensive opportunities. Santoro behind the net, over to Norling. Norling with it in the back is hounded over there by Mix before being able to push it a little bit farther out to Kimball. Kimball, Norling, everybody in the corner over there for Post. And it's going to be Norling who comes out with it. Kicks back out over to DeMarini's for the Hawks, and back in transition the other way comes St. Anselm. Brackett over there pushes it to Cooney's left, our right, his left. And now that's a little bit of a hit there by Glassrud. A little bit of extra after it on Barum, sending a message, like I mentioned, to Barum, who's been taunting some of these Eagles players here in the third period. And it was a good hit there, too. Nothing that's going to draw a penalty. Santoro now behind the St. A's net, and we got some offensive chances here, hopefully for Post, but it's going to be taken away by Mix. And now out the other way with St. Anselm with 6 minutes to play here in regulation. Kicking it out over across the Hawks. Blaney gets it in, and now it's going to be taken away over there by McCowell. McCowell back over to Delory. Delory over in the corner, nothing doing there. And now over to get it back is McCowell. McCowell out to center ice, tries to push it ahead to Beckett. Onside it was. And now behind the goal with it is Reynolds, as Reynolds will come the other way with it and push it up the ice to Myers. Nice break up there by McCowell, and it's going to be pushed out of the defensive side of the play by Kennedy. And we'll get a stoppage here. Looks like for an offsides, and we'll go back over to the Post defensive zone. With 5:40 remaining in regulation, Ben Cooning been standing on his head all game, and they're going to ask him to do it, I think, for another 5.5, especially if that goalie gets pulled, if the Eagles are not able to get another goal here for some insurance. Face-off won by St. A's, quickly taken away by Delory, who pushes it out, but it's gloved down by Vanderveen, and out of play again, so we'll get an offensive zone face-off for the Hawks.
Opportunity for both sides to get who they want out there, get their matchups.
It'll be Murray in the face-off circle for Post. Alberti for St. A's, and Murray's going to win it. Oh, man, briefly it looked like somebody. I can't tell if that was Alberti or the man on the ice right there who just got up, Martinetti, who got a stick on that one. Martinetti quick to come off of the ice for a new stick, as his broke. He's staying out there. Alberti and Murray again, won by the Eagles and off the rafters, so we'll have another offensive zone face-off. With 5:23 to go. St. A's at 98 total shots in this game so far, 46 on goal. And again, a little bit of extra pushing and shoving in front. That was Ryan O'Connell in the mix there, and he's still going at a guy. And again, you don't want to do that right now if you're post and draw something by accident. Santoro in the face-off circle for post. And it's taken away by St. A's after it looked like post had won it, and now back the other way with it. It's not going to be icing. They say there was a tip there, but Mark Blaney going back to get it. Back into the Hawks offensive zone, who they lead 12-5 in shots on goal with just under 5 minutes to go here. They're out shooting post 30-8 in this period overall. And the Eagles, at this point, are just trying to get something out of their zone, waste some clock, and get out of here with a win, and then focus on tomorrow and how you beat the St. A's team twice and get back to 500. That's got to be the mindset right now, is just getting through these next 4.5 minutes. Couldn't see where the puck went and went off the rafters again. And we'll have another face-off here, I believe, in the neutral zone with 4:28 left in regulation.
Yeah, here's where you're matching your lines, and like I say, if you're posting on the D side of the puck becomes so important as the clock ticks away.
Yeah, you don't want to also get too deep in your own zone and then ice the puck either, because you won't be able to get fresh skaters, which could matter a lot down the stretch, especially if you take an icing in the last couple minutes. And they can pull the goalie then and have a 6-on-5 and continue that zone pressure, and unless you're able to clear without it being an icing on the empty net, the Hawks will continue to be able to pressure on the same guys out there. So the Eagles, with 3:58 remaining, 3:57, a cover up there by Kooning. Just watching these precious seconds tick by in hopes of holding on to this 4-3 victory. In there for the faceoff was Howell. He wins it. The Eagles will look to try and push it out of the zone. They do. But then there's an icing, just like I talked about, so you can't get fresh skaters out there for your post.
Yeah, again, just a little more touch on the puck, a little flip out. And honestly, even if it hit the rafters, worst case scenarios, it's another draw, but further out.
Post 3-15-1 all time against St. A's since they started playing in 2017, marking last year being that 3-2 victory being only the third win in program history against them. The Eagles 2-8 at home against St. A's all time, 1-7-1 on the road. 3-13-1 in conference play, so a couple of those games were not conference games, or counted towards the conference record, I should say. Howell pushing it ahead for the Eagles, and it's just dumped out real quick by the Hawks. The jump we got it is Kennedy, who gets it back in the zone for a post. 3.5 minutes left here in regulation. St. A's, it's getting to that point where you may see them pull the goalie pretty soon. Hansen, who's been spectacular outside of that little stretch in the first period, has stood on his head as well to stop the bleeding for St. A's after his little bit of a rough stretch there at the end of that first. He's done a phenomenal job of doing so. And again, even though the score is 4-3, both of these teams' goalies have come up with some tremendous saves to keep their teams in it or ahead in the case of post, as it's going to be another icing call, which means no fresh legs for post here in the final 2:49. And as expected, I think. Nope, they're not pulling the goalie yet. Tricked me there as he was talking to Theodos and came way out of the net towards the bench. But we're approaching that time, and it looks like, yep, so Post is going to call a timeout, probably to get those skaters a breather with all the icings they've had to take, but also to probably figure out how you're going to approach these next 2.5 minutes. And, Coach, what do you think Tim Richter's talking about with that team in there to get them ready for this final stretch here?
I think one of the things that is important is let's get away from icing the puck. I mean, if we have to take that puck and grind it up the wall, every time we're doing that, a second's coming off the clock, and at the end of the day, if we can pin it, maybe we get a whistle, face off, we can change, get fresh, do whatever we want to do, but unforced turnovers are really important to stay away from at this point of the game.
Yeah, especially with the way St. A's has been winning the puck, the face-off battle when Joe Santoro's not in the circle. On the offensive side of it, it's making it a lot harder for the Eagles to break out or do anything to get it out of their zone, forcing Ben Cooney to kind of stand on his head right now to keep them in it, kind of like he had to do against Westfield State. But he's answered the call so far in keeping these Eagles ahead 4-3.
Yeah, no question.
And as I mentioned, the face-offs in the offensive zone, it is going to be Santoro taking it for post. Santoro with 14 face-off wins, make that 15 before the puck skates by and is unable to get there, or as the Hawks get to it, I should say, and then it was fired on net by Leinart and poked away by Cooney in net. Firing it back into the zone is Mark Blaney, and now we're going to get a whistle for a high stick. Not a penalty, just a high stick on the puck. It's Coach Richter talking with the ref about it. 2:28 to go. Hansen still in net for St. A's. Another icing.
So they did it on the other side, and they're trying again on this side. They're trying to win it, reverse it hard, and fly a guy in the hopes of getting a breakaway, but so far it's just culminated in 2 icings.
Larry Roca, the 6-year head coach, still not pulling his goalie yet in Hansen with 2:19 to go here. And I got to think, too, part of it's because he has a lot of confidence in the St. A's offense with the way they have had post on their heels almost all game long, especially, though, in these last few minutes down the stretch as the Hawks are up to 104 total shots in this game, 48 of which are on net. And it's Post, though, winning the faceoff battle 42-31, which is a big part of it right now. All those faceoffs coming because of all the icing calls that have happened, especially in this third period.
Yeah, getting a lot of practice at the draws.
Yeah, this period alone, there has been 32 faceoffs now, which is the most of any period so far. There was 24 in the second and 18 in the first. So 32 faceoffs so far for the two teams in this third period, as once again now St. A's rushing up. And out and grabbing it up there is Murray. Murray trying to do something with it. Murray's shot fired on Hansen. Just missed getting it by that blocker on the right side. 1:30 to go. Now's the time where St. A's has to get it out of their own zone and maintain possession of it if they want to try and pull Hansen to go to 6-on-5. But now is the time where Post is able to get it, but they ice it. So now you're probably going to see Hansen come out of the goal if I had to guess. Or maybe even a timeout from Larry Roca. Probably not because it was on an icing, so they don't want to give the Eagles a break.
Yeah, this is kind of curious. Yep, there he goes.
There we go. Now
there
he's signaling for Hansen. Didn't see it at first.
I don't think he wanted to leave.
No.
He's having too much fun back there.
Yeah, hasn't had to stop too many shots today, but has done his job down the stretch. Now we're getting a timeout.
Let's draw something up. Coach hangs his head. I don't think he was looking for a timeout there. I think that was player inspired.
I was going to say, it looked like St. A's did not have who they wanted out there entirely, because I was going to ask you, would you call a timeout if you're Larry Roca in that situation, being that it was on another icing? And not getting fresh legs out there if you're Post.
Yeah, I think that was Larry's angst there. That is exactly what you said. We got fresh legs out there. Now we give the team an opportunity to rest. But, we reset, refocus, and we carry on.
I got to think if you're Post, the one person that's probably going to be out there defensively the rest of the way is Joe Santoro to take any of those key faceoffs the way he's won them today, in hopes of winning that and then clearing it down the ice at worst. At best, you get the empty net. But Santoro's been money on the faceoff, so I can't imagine in this next 125 we'll see him come off the ice at all.
Yeah, it'd be curious to see what the approach is going to be. Like, will the post players, try to get that home run and seal the deal? Will they just drift it out into the neutral zone? Interesting to see what strategy Coach Richter is relaying to the guys. But then again, the guys have to execute whatever he says as well.
As we come out of the timeout here, it's going to be Santoro taking the draw, which is already a big advantage for Post. He's lost very few today. I think it's only 4 or 5 at this point. And Santoro wins another. Glassford's got it. Tries to get it out of there and dump it in the neutral zone. Can't do so. Howell going after it, and then that was Santoro again. Howell, though, right near that blue line, not able to get it. Is able to get it out, but not able to get it out of harm's way. Hawks pushing it in deep and coming in fast. There in the corner with it is DeMarinis. DeMarinis and Barum. Barum with like an elbow to the face of Kennedy, it looked like. Kennedy's down and not moving, and now he's back up on his feet. Slowly to get up. Looks like he took a shot to the face there. A little bit of a high stick there. Yeah, they're going to call a high stick, it looks like. They will. Blaney called for the high stick. Will draw it in the middle, and that's gonna force Hansen to come back out. That's big if you're Post. No, I'm sorry. It's actually going to be in the offensive side for Post, which is even better with 46.4 to go. Connor Murray to take this face-off draw. Santoro over on the bench. And it's won by Post. Gets it out, and Delory just dumps it in deep. St. A's trying to get possession of this puck, get it out there, and get Hansen out of the net, but they're struggling to do so. Nearly a turnover in front. That would have gone to Murray. They do so now. Barum with numbers in transition. Oh, no. Left all alone on that side of the net was Brackett, and nearly had that one slip in to the side of the net by Cooney. Eagles were caught kind of sleeping there with the speed of the Hawks. 4 people on this side of the ice for St. A's. Only 3 were back for Post now. And a nice clear there. Almost. Nope, it's blocked in front by Mix. Mix with it in front. Shot by Cooney on Cooney, and it's saved. Just to the right side as the clock expires. And Post University pulls off the 4-3 win. As there's some extracurriculars happening after this one, and you got to think, hey, a nice win for Post today, and a little bit of fire there at the end is going to set up what will be a great matchup tomorrow afternoon here at 2:30 against the two teams. As Post with 3 goals in the first period, a Baxter Kimball goal in the third, give them a 4-2 lead, and they hold off the Hawks' comeback attempt at the end. A furious one there to get this victory 4-3 and get their first conference win of the season.
Yeah, I don't know what anyone's doing tomorrow afternoon, but if they want to see a really good college hockey game in Connecticut, they should come down to the Sports Center.
Over 100 shots, not all on goal, obviously, by St. A's, but the Eagles' defense came up big with over 20 blocked shots in this affair. A tremendous outing for Ben Kunin in goal, who we're going to talk to after this game on his performance, especially after the performance he had against Westfield State, as the players shake hands. Coach, what did you really see in that third period that helped these Eagles pull out this 4-3 win?
I saw number 35 just shutting the door. That was the difference maker, because there was that, and then it was icing after icing after icing. Joe Santoro, again, stepping up in just a different way, but stepping up in his second game this week, being the difference maker too, winning those draws, so very important. So between those two guys, somebody should be buying them a soda tonight.
And they'll be back on it tomorrow. I can't imagine Ben Kunin gets to start tomorrow too, with the way he's played these last 2 games. I think he probably gets a break, and we'll see Drew Blodgett in that one against Cam Carroll. That would be my guess for the 2 starting goalies in tomorrow's game, but I'm not Coach Richter, and I'm not Coach Larry Roca either, as this was another great performance for Ben Kunin. As we'll take a quick break here, and we'll talk to Ben Kunin in a little while here on the CACC Network. Post wins 4-3.
Perfect.
All right, we're here with goalkeeper Ben Kunin, who got the win in today's game. Ben, you had 45 saves today, 33 the other day. How sore are you first?
I mean, winning makes that soreness go away pretty fast. So it was a great team win, just like Tuesday night, and we're really gelling together right now. So.
What was the key to today's game? I mean, we looked at the numbers. St. Anselm had over 100 shots in general in this game, but your defense blocked over 20 shots in this game. But what were you seeing out there that helped you make all the saves you needed to in key moments?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think we'd all agree it wasn't kind of the cleanest game from us, all 60 minutes, but we found a way to win, and that's what good teams do. The guys, especially in that last 10 minutes or so, did a really good job of boxing out, kind of keeping the traffic away, letting me see some pucks. So it was a great team win.
Talk about your start to the season, too. These 3 games you've had so far against St. Mike's, Westfield State, and St. Anselm. You've had some tremendous saves and had over 40 saves in 2 of those games. What has been the key for you so far to your success?
Yeah, honestly, I'm just kind of coming to the rink every day with a smile on my face. We have a great group this year. The guys are helping me out just as much as I help them, and that's kind of my job. So I'm just kind of ready to go every day whenever my number's called, and I love playing in front of these guys. So.
Now, do you think you'll be starting tomorrow after today?
I have no clue. But I'm sure whoever goes, they'll do great. So
now, no matter whether or not you do start tomorrow, what is the key to this team being able to take what would be a huge sweep? I believe the first in program history over St. Anselm this weekend against the team that really just controlled the tempo most of the game, but you guys found a way against.
Yeah, they're a good team. They have some really, really good skaters, some skilled guys, but I think, again, we didn't really take too many penalties today. I think that was big for us. If we stay disciplined, I think we have a chance to win any game. So, yeah.
And you finally got your guys finally got that first power play goal of the season after going 0 for 12 or 0 for 13, I believe it was. But the penalty kill, I believe, has only given up 5 goals on the year now. What's been the key on the penalty kill that you guys have been able to shut down other teams?
Yeah, we're kind of hungry to get out there when we get a kill. Even in practice, like, guys get super excited, blocking shots and stuff, because it's kind of like bigger than one guy. It's kind of like for the team, like a play for the team. So we've been doing great at it, and I can't thank the guys enough.
Goalie Ben Kunin picks up the win, making 45 saves in the game. Post gets a big first conference win of the year against St. Anselm, 4-3. They're back here at 2:30 tomorrow, back at the Sports Center of Connecticut to take on St. Anselm one more, and what should be a matchup full of fireworks.